Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV. I'm Bailey Shaw, back again as Chris and Paul are still in Munich having many beers, I hope, after the performance of last night. Before we get into this, if you are interested in content from last night, we've done the Man of the Match show, the Final Word show over on redmentv.com. It's £5 a month, free to sign up. It was brilliant. Who doesn't want to talk about knocking Bayern Munich out in the Allianz, 3-1, Mane's weldy. Just a very good round of conversation over on redmentv.com. So get over there if you want some more of that conversation. But we're here to talk about Fulham, Liverpool, back in the Premier League, second with the potential to go first after this game for 2 weeks. Obviously with City's game in hand that they'll have to play because they've got the FA Cup game, and Fulham 19th. Ooh, it's got the makings of a good game. But we'll get into the team, and of course, who you got to start with? Nobody other than Alisson Becker. And I mean, not too much more to say about this guy. I mean, it's the back five are very regimented nowadays, which is nice. We've finally got a sturdy back five that we can rely on, and this guy is at the crux, at the heart of everything. Obviously, he's played every Premier League game this season. There's a reason for that. You're not dropping him for anyone. He's in absolutely shit-hot form. Best Premier League goalkeeper in terms of clean sheets so far this season. Long passing is phenomenal. Saves per 90 is phenomenal. Except for when he's getting dived on by about 3 Burnley players. That's the only way you're getting past this guy. So Alisson Becker, of course, stays in at goalkeeper, but we'll get into right back. And as you'd expect, got to be Trent. Trent is an unbelievable player at his age and how important he is to Liverpool's attack this season. And you can see when he's not in the team, when we have to replace him with Milner, we lose a lot on that right-hand side. So, of course, doesn't matter what the game is, he's got to be in there if he's fit and available. 6 assists. That's the key there. That's the asset that we need. We need him to be popping up with goals and assists whenever he's in the game. And his passing attributes, that's such an important key part of his game. And when it's not working in midfield and we have to put it out wide, they have to be able to give it back. They have to be able to give it to the front three. Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, keeps his place alongside a man who, I think, huge plaudits have to be awarded to Joel Matip. I mean, who'd have thought at the start of the season in the form that Gomez and Van Dyck was in, that we'd end up having Matip and Van Dyck at the end? Lovren's gone missing, and the man has stepped up and performed fantastically these last 7-8 games, especially last night. I thought he was fantastic in Munich. 11 appearances, 4 substitutions, passes per 90, 72.13, 97%. That's a stat that gets slept on hugely as a centre-half, is your ability to play balls to your forwards team midfielders, as shown by Virgil Van Dyck yesterday with his ball over the top to Mane. Having centre-halves that can pass the ball and pass the ball accurately, huge asset to have in the team. You look at the rest of it, aerial duels, 68.4% of them are accurate. He's just very good. Very tall, very accurate in terms of where he puts his body. And yeah, I mean, Joel Matip, of course, keeps his place. I mean, I asked this the other week, if Lovren's fit, is Fulham the sort of game you want to get Lovren in? For me, I think we carry on with a team that has got the best form, are in its best form. They've got a week and a half after Fulham to rest up and get back into the game. Obviously, he doesn't play internationals anymore, old Joel. So I think Joel keeps his place alongside. Is he the best player in the team? I think he's the best centre-half in the world, at least. Virgil van Dijk. I mean, let me just pull out a superlative. Stupendous is how I'm going to describe Van Dijk for this game. There's so much you can say about him, and I mean, words don't describe how good he is. I mean, you don't need me to tell you how fantastic he is and how important he is to this game, to this team. In fact, I mean, he's played 30 games, the same as Alisson has, because they're both key men, both brought in the last 18 months, and they've both made themselves mainstays in this Liverpool team. And we're building around them. You can see that the defence is so much better having the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Alisson in the team. These stats speak for themselves. I mean, 91.9% accurate passes. Again, that ball to Mane yesterday. Who else has got that in their locker from that deep? Aerial duels, 65.4% of them, which is strange. When does he ever lose out on aerial duels? It doesn't seem like it in the game, does it? He just seems to be there everywhere, cleaning up. He's the man, Virgil van Dijk. It's got to be him. But we'll move on. Left back. Again, I said it before Bayern. I don't think anybody takes Robertson's place. I mean, obviously he got carded in Munich, and I think that we're going to have to play Milner there. I mean, I wouldn't play Moreno there, but that's a discussion for another day. Robertson, 8 assists. nuts. This guy is so important. Again, alluding back to what I said about Trent. Trent and Robertson on those fullback positions are effectively wingers. When we get to play our plan A, which is wing play with the fullbacks, this guy is so important, and his work rate, his work ethic, the way he tracks back, the way he attacks, he's the perfect fullback that you want when you're trying to play a system like Liverpool are. So, of course, the Scotsman, Andy Robertson, keeps his place in the team. We'll move into the midfield. This is an area which I think is up for debate a lot this season with the way we've got. We've got a very, very solid defence that sort of picks itself, an attack that picks itself. This is the area that I think has the most debate. And I think Fabinho, for me, starts every game. I think he's our best midfielder. He's the most dynamic midfielder. And I think Fabinho's the first name on the team sheet, and we build around him because I think he offers everything that all the other midfielders do in terms of defensive ability, passing, dribbling. And then he puts his own style on it. He puts his own ability on it because he's a genuinely world-class level defensive midfielder. And look, 87.9% of his passes are accurate. 56.6% of his long passes are accurate. He makes 4.62 interceptions per 90. He's a destroyer. And you see yesterday, he gives that yellow card away. Sometimes you need a guy in there who's willing to put his body on the line, take a yellow if it stops a counter-attack. And this man, we're building a team around him the same way we've built around Alisson, Van Dyck. This man is another guy who's come in and made his position a mainstay. It's his position, and I don't think we're going to get him out of that team anytime soon. So Fabinho stays. Alongside him, I've gone with Adam Lallana. Now, let me know what you think. I said before the buying game, I wasn't sure whether he'd done enough to get himself a start in Europe. I mean, with the options we had the options that we had available to us, I think Lallana was still a little shy, still a few appearances shy of being in a game like Bayern Munich away. But Fulham away, I think this could be a place where Lallana thrives again. Burnley was perfect, being put in that hole. When Fulham want to play defensive, he's the perfect guy because they play 4-2-3-1. So you need a guy in that between those defensive midfielders and those fullbacks who can turn on a sixpence and spray balls out wide. I think Lallana on his day is the best dribbler in our midfield, so he's got to stay in the game. Look, 88.4% pass accuracy. 68.5% dribbles per 90, 33.3 attempts per game. That's why you have him in the team, because you can say he's lost his pace, you can say he's lost his physicality, but what he hasn't lost is his ability to dribble a football. That's why Lallana gets his position in this game. I think he deserves a chance. Let me know in the comments, would you put someone else in? We'll get to the last midfielder first, who is Gini Wijnaldum. Now, said earlier, the guy looks tired, and I agree. Me personally, I think he looks tired, but as I was saying, he's got 2 weeks off after today, and I think that with the adrenaline that the guys are feeling at the minute after this huge win in Europe, Champions League quarterfinals, Gini Wijnaldum's got to be in this team, because where Fabinho is the most professional midfielder, the most talented midfielder, the most dynamic, Gini's the most consistent for me. I think he can cover every position when the players want to drop up, they want to drop deep. Gini's everywhere, so I think he keeps his place. 92.9% pass accuracy, 82.8% accurate dribbles, 4.62 interceptions per 90. He's just fantastic in doing the role that we need him to do, whether that is 6, whether that's 8, even at 10 at times. Look at how he played against Bournemouth. I think this is our midfield. Let me know what you think in the comments. There's big debate whether you could drop a Shaqiri in. Keita if he's fit. I don't think Henderson's fit. That's why he's not in my team. I think after the ankle roll and having to come off 30 minutes into a game, it doesn't look good for the next game that you then want to play. I think he's going to have the international break off and to rest. So that's my midfield. Let me know what you think. We'll have a discussion afterwards. But we're going to the forwards in the meantime. And of course, Mr. Mohamed Salah. He's owed a goal, isn't he? He's doing everything right. He's doing the work, he's doing the dribbles, getting into the positions, setting people up with Travellas over the top of defenders, world-class defenders at that, putting it on a sixpence for Mane to finish. All he's lacking is the goals at the minute. 17 of them, and it's been stuck on that number for about 8 games now. He's 1 goal away from 50 goals in the season. 50 goals in his career. And I think that, I think it could be the game for him, you know. I think this could be the game where he breaks that 50-goal duck for Liverpool, because these stats are fantastic. We just want to see that magic number 18 appear. Let me know, do you think this could be Salah's game? I do. But of course, the man accompanying him is Sadio Mane, who picking up the goals this season where Salah's lacking in creating them. And I think, I said before on my last starting 11, I think Virgil Van Dyck was going to score, and he did score. This guy gets at least 2. Wouldn't be surprised if I saw him score a hat-trick at the weekend. Quote me on that, because that's how good I think Mane is at the minute. His form is fantastic. He's exactly what you need when one of your forwards isn't firing, you need the other guy to pick up the slack and bang goals in consistently against top opposition. And a team against Fulham who've conceded 61 goals this season. They've conceded the most goals out of everyone. You need a guy like Mane who's a terror. Won't give them an inch, won't give that defence a time to breathe. So a guy like Mane, I mean, 63.7% dribble percentage, 52% of his defensive duels are accurate, 2.36 shots per game. You need a guy that's going to come in and test the defence that is, in honesty, it's crumbling. Fulham are in a real bad place right now, and we need a guy to come in and punish that. But of course, to finish off the trifecta of forwards that we have at the football club, it's Mr. Bobby Firmino. I mean, there's a case that could be made is, do you want to rotate and you want to put Mane in the middle, Divock out left, give Bobby a rest? It's up to you. I think he's got to play this game for me. I mean, we've got an opportunity now to go top of the table. We take no risks in this game. We play our strongest 11, try and get as many goals on the board, close that goal difference with us and City going into the international break, and Bobby Firmino's got to be in the team if that's what we're trying to do. 11 goals in 26 appearances. It's not bad. It's not bad for a guy that plays two positions effectively, a 9 and a 10. It's not your out-and-out number 9 like players like Harry Kane are, for example, Lacazette. I think that he's so instrumental to making this full work, our front three click. And, of course, Bobby keeps his place. And we'll go into the way that I think we're going to line up. And that is 4-3-3. Now, we've played 4-2-3-1 away from home a lot this season. But as I said earlier, Fulham are leaking goals. They are really struggling to defend anything. They've had 4 wins all season, 21 losses. We could go at their throats here. And obviously, our most offensive formation, our formation that got us so many goals last season, was the 4-3-3. And with the additions of Alisson, Van Dyck, Fabinho, and you got the same front three that were terrorising people last season, I want to come in and go for it. I really want to come in and make our statement against Fulham and do a professional job. But anyway, we'll take some comments. I want to know what you think about the starting 11, Tom.
Kerwin Lukes says, I would like to see Shaq. There's been a lot of talking in the comments.
Yeah.
Would you bring him on as a sub or just start him? What's your thoughts?
Very good proposal there. If the uncensored match build-up that we do is going to be out at 7 o'clock tonight, where a lot of us have proposed the thought of having Shaqiri in, but I'll give you a sneak preview into what I think now. I debated putting Lallana in the 10. Not Lallana, Shaqiri in the 10. I don't think we switch any of the front three, because like I say, they're so instrumental in getting at a defence that's leaking goals. Maybe him in the 10. You know, we've seen him in the 10 in a 4-2-3-1, which is where he got the goals against Manchester United. My point is, though, again, as I said before, in the starting 11 before Bayern, does Klopp trust him enough? Me personally, I'd love to give him a game. I think Lallana has deserved to start, but I'd definitely consider bringing Shaqiri off the bench. Say one of the front three needs a rest early because they have played a lot of games. Lallana's not functioning very well, and we need someone more direct. We need a guy that's going to go at a defence with the physicality that Lallana lacks. I think Shaqiri's a great shout off the bench. Well, any more, Tom?
Yeah. Eric Forbes says, might be a good game to get Lovren back up to speed.
Very interesting. See, that's something that's the other side of the coin that I was arguing. So you've got this whole team here all played bar Lallana literally last night. So do you take this team that are in such good form right now and run them off the adrenaline that they've had from this huge win, and then say to them, look lads, give it your all in this last game before you break, and then you can have a breather and you can all rest? Or Lovren's a good shout. I mean, is there a better game really? You could obviously say a home game, a better away game against a team as weak as Fulham to bring someone like Lovren back into the team. It's definitely something I'd consider. But for me, I don't like disturbing defensive partnerships. I think that it's been disturbed enough this season, losing Gomez and then having Lovren getting injured and bringing Matip in. I think we're finally seeing the start a very well organised centre-half partnership. 8 games left in the Premier League, remember, guys. Has Lovren really done enough to get back into that team and disrupt this partnership? For me, whilst Matip's fit, he stays and he plays every game. But very good point. We could see Lovren.
Someone commented, Annoying Steak says Fabinho is going to be suspended. 5 yellow cards. He has 5 yellow cards. So
you've caught me completely off guard. Potentially.
Yeah, I think he actually might be suspended.
Wow.
Which is, wow, yeah.
That's a shock. Wow, fair enough. So, let's think. So, Henderson...
Who goes in defensive mid then?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I think Milner?
Wijnaldum can do it.
Yeah, so say we... Okay, so Fabinho's suspended. Let's put Wijnaldum in the 6, Milner in the 8 and Lallana in the 10, because I think Hendo's injured. if Keita's fit, obviously I don't think we've had word yet as to the extent of Keita's injury and to why he didn't travel to Munich, this could be a perfect game for Keita. Say then you've got your Wijnaldum, your Milner, then you bring Keita in your 10. Same way we were talking about Lovren, is this the perfect game to bring a player like him in? I think if Keita's fit, he comes in. But that's a sticky situation. I completely didn't realise he was on 6 yellow cards, but obviously he's a mainstay if he is. But 5 yellow cards. But yeah, what about you? What do you think in the comments? I think that if Fabinho is injured, Gini drops to the 6, Milner in the 8, and then Lallana in the 10. What about you, Tom?
Well, could you go with a 2? Could you go with a 4-2-3-1? With Gini and Milner? We haven't seen that. And then you put Firmino dropped in. We're going to have to change the whole team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you want to change so much before a break? I mean, it's possible.
I mean, it'll give an opportunity for Shaq to come back in.
Yeah.
Or you just put Keita in the 10.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot who commented. That's a very good point because that gives us a lot of options now in terms of creativity because maybe we're forced into having to change things around. Maybe we do play a 2 and we drop Shaqiri in the 10, or we put Shaqiri on the right and we put Salah up front, drop Firmino deeper. This is put up open a can of worms in sort of potential that we can do with this team.
Well, I'll give you another question. Someone just said it's 10 for the ban. I'm going to look into this properly.
Have you thrown me off with a proposal that could actually be absolute bollocks?
Well, yeah, you never know. It's not as bad as last time.
It excites the stream because now everyone's a bit...
Well, Viva la Revolution, we just spoke about the midfield. Gini looks leggy, deserves this rest.
You're absolutely right.
Played so many.
You're absolutely right. And again, go reference it back. Do we drive him on because we know he's so important to our midfield and say, look, lad, you're fantastic. We need you. You're so reliable. You'll get a rest as soon as this is done. But again, equally, you could make the case of, all right, Gini, you've played a lot. And I agree. I think in Munich, he looked the most tired out of our midfield. And I wouldn't be against taking him off and putting a Milner in that position because I think that Milner can cover basically anywhere. He's such a workhorse, isn't he? He's a Dirk Kuyt-esque midfielder. And I think that it's a tough one. It's a tough debate. I personally, hence why I picked it, I think that we go for it. We go for it against Fulham. We try to play our strongest team and we just go, lads, once more, and then you rest. You rest for 2 weeks and you can have a breather and pat yourself on the back and thank yourselves that you've got yourself to top of the Premier League.
So I've just looked into the yellow cards ban rule.
Okay.
So 1 match ban if you get 5 yellow cards received before 19 Premier League fixtures. That's December the 26th. So maybe he's not banned. He does have 5 yellow cards.
This is like
I don't think he's banned.
It's like Pandora's box, isn't it? I mean, is he banned? Is he not banned? Will we see him? From what you've told me there, it sounds like he probably will play. I think there'd be more coverage in the press about it, maybe if he's not playing, because he's been so important and there was so much about Henderson being in for him last night. Maybe we'd see what are we going to do without him, but...
So it doesn't look like he's banned.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone, for
commenting.
Thank
you for scaring me.
And
that
clarifying.
Was lovely. Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, it at least gave us something to talk about.
No, you're right. It was strange.
Glenn Wood says, don't underestimate Fulham. Come on, Reds.
No, that's a great point there that we talk about in the match build-up out later today is that you've got to remember, whilst we were in a title race, Fulham are in a relegation battle. I mean, they're 19th. I think they're 4 points off Cardiff, who are at the bottom, a fair few points away from the safety. I think it's like 13 points away from safety. This is going to be, when you're playing a team that's got everything to lose, backs up against the wall, they come out swinging, and we have to do a professional job against Fulham. None of this, it's going to be a cricket score, 4-0, 5-0. We did that against West Ham. We did that against Leicester. I think we've learned. Hopefully, we've learned our lesson of underestimating teams that we think we can just breeze off the park. I think that Fulham are there because, like I say, you can't lie with the stats. At the stats, they've conceded the most goals in the Premier League. Only won 4 games all season. They're there to be taken. But again, take nothing for granted from that. Go in, play the Liverpool way, do our job professionally, go about our business the way we do against even the top 6 teams. Play our style of football, and I think we'll get the win.
Last comment, it is a super chat, blue super chat from Balwan Bassi. He says, make Bailey a regular fixture on Redmen TV, please.
Well, Balwan Bassi, thank you. I'm on a few shows here and there. I'm primarily here to do sort of social media stuff like Ross does, but I love doing this sort of stuff, and it means a lot to me that you guys appreciate my input on football, especially as a Wool. So, no, massively appreciate this, guys.
Really bad Wool as well.
Eh?
Really bad Wool.
Yeah, I am apparently a really bad Wool. I normally wear white socks, but I've been bullied that much in this office that I've basically changed my look and still look like this. So imagine how bad I looked at the start of the season. So Anyway, thank you very much for watching the Starting 11, guys. Thank you very much for joining in. Like I say, all your post-match for buying is out on the website right now. That's the Man of the Match. Me, Ben, Tom and Ross did a 35-minute Man of the Match show, because who doesn't want to stop talking about knocking Bayern Munich out in their own backyard, advancing into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Final word was out with John Machin, Steve, myself and Ross again. Brilliant show. And in regards to the draw, we've got Paul and Chris, I'm not sure which one it is, it could be both, are going to be reporting live from, is it live, Tom? Or is they going to be
they're going to be doing a video after the draw.
Exactly.
They're getting back from Munich tonight, so they're going to be knackered.
And hungover.
Yeah.
So yeah,
but all the pre-match for Burnley's, for Fulham, sorry, it's coming out soon.
Exactly, all the pre-match for Fulham's coming out very soon. Tomorrow, Paul and Chris will join you, hopefully in very high spirits when we draw. Oh, that's a good final question. Who would you want to draw tomorrow in the Champions League? You've got Ajax, Porto, Barca, Juve, us, obviously we don't count, and Tottenham, United, City. Who do you want? United? Do you want an easy one? Porto? Ajax for the away? Let me know in the comments now. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Ta-ra.